morning. Welcome to Quiet Life, the Minecraft save where we play Minecraft like a nice, cozy game. And somebody brought this up to me in a previous comment. I never really explained the rules of this save. I should probably do that. The gist of it is, essentially, no adventuring, no spelunking, no exploring. We're settling in, and we're doing everything here through peaceful means. Mechanically, that means I am staying within 1,000 blocks of my house, as well as doing everything in the game through crafting from trading, farming, and farming related activities. The only thing that kind of straddles that line a bit is getting stone and dirt. I'm tearing apart a hill, but I'm not going all the way down. I'm just going to ground level. Additionally, no big, redstone farms or any of those type of deals, which for me kind of sucks because I actually got started doing redstone stuff, but you know, it's a challenge. And finally, every episode, I'm trying to do something to bring aesthetic coziness, just something to make this base feel more cohesive, farm-like, and just pretty for pretty's sake, not mechanic for any reason. This windmill, I didn't need it. This much wheat, I don't need it. But it's nice to have because it looks good. I like it. So there you go. That's the basic rules of this playthrough. And now, let's get started on our day. Last time we got more pale goodies with the pale moss, and we have our pale oak growing nice and strong. We also got cherry blossoms. Today, I do believe I would like to start on the Pale Village, which I'm just going to be redoing an entire village entirely in this fashion with pale moss, the pale saplings. Maybe a wandering trader will brighten my day and give me some of those really pretty flowers. I doubt it. I'm not expecting it, but it'd be nice to have. And we have 2 village candidates potentially for this endeavor. We have this village right next to our farm, as well as the village down the river. And between the two, I do believe that this village down the river would be the better of the 2 candidates. One, it's not so close to my farm, so I don't have to meld them together as much. I can keep that plains aesthetic and it fits in just fine. This one has more of a blank slate. 2, it's got a nice wide open area, so that way some of my ideas that I have can kind of fit together. That is a really nice house. I didn't know that happened in vanilla. And 3, there's a lot of open space here to be able to meld 2 biomes together. So I think this is going to be our candidate. Anyways, let's get some pale oak growing down here so that way we have some materials to work with. Also, apologies, I have a bit of a sore throat. We went to a live show, got to see the crane wives. It was pretty great, but yeah, sore throat. It happens. Got a little croaky going on. Anyways, we got a decent amount of this material, and we got more brewing over here. Let's go ahead and get started on fixing up this village a little bit. Unfortunately, we have to start by making some villagers pretty upset, because I'm going to be revamping this whole village, which means I need to tear some stuff down and do some terraforming. So I believe we should start by making a temporary house with beds for them to live in while I give this village a facelift. Sound good? Pretty good. Yeah, definitely need to do this terraforming. Villagers are not that bright. I filled in the hole, so no more villagers are going to plummet to their doom. And flatten out this area to be able to make a nice little bunkhouse, so that way I can get these guys out of here for the moment so I could tidy things up a little bit. And they have a place where they're going to be safe in the interim. So let's get started on that bunkhouse. There we are. A cozy little bunkhouse. It's not very well decorated at this point. It will be a thing in the future, but right now it's just kinda it's beds. This is where we're at. Now I gotta get all y'all in these beds by breaking all your beds. I'm sorry. I got all of the villagers safe. They've figured out the beds. They've found the new job blocks all scattered about. It's all been broken down here. So they're all gonna be just fine up here in the happy little home. You move the bell. So now I get to tear all this down and then get started on the terraforming and making everything all nice and pretty. So, destruction time. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a jungle tree over there. Awesome. Anyways, the entire village is razed to the ground. It's all now here in these little chests. The villagers, they're not exactly happy about this, so we are going to have to get going on rebuilding them a brand new fancy village. With this kind of block palette, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be new, exciting. I'm ready to give it a go. So, first up, could use a little terraforming up in here because this is very choppy and it's very kind of haphazard. We want to try to make it so that way it all kind of flows to this point over here. So, let's get going on that. Terry with Ori. Here we go. And now that the landscaping is much better behaved, the next step is getting some clear separation for the area so that way we can start rebuilding this village. And by that I mean, I need some village walls. Gotta keep all these people alive and make many more of them so that way I could have nice things. So, let's get going on some walls. I have a design in mind. I'm gonna see if it works out. And now we have a nice big wall giving us a clear separation for where the village ends and where the other environments begin. Whenever I start laying down the pale moss and spreading it out, it'll make it a lot easier to know where I'm going to do the transition back to the plains. Until that time, get a nice big wall. It's modular, so it kind of just fit into place. I like it. Something I don't like. I just built this little trading station situation over here, and I decided while I was doing the terraforming and building this that I don't necessarily want this here anymore. I kind of want to turn this into a bit of a port situation. Have our fishermen, villager houses right about here, and just have a boat dock to be able to bring in supplies to our new revamped village. But I should probably explain what I'm doing with the rest of the village. And the overall plan, it's going to be a bit of a pale garden oasis in the middle of a plains biome. So I'm going to put in brand new paths and pale moss throughout, as well as some pale oak trees. I'm thinking about doing some custom trees. I'm very excited for that. I'm new at custom trees, and they're fun. And then I'm going to have each individual profession of the villagers, I'm going to have their own little housing situation. Either a big house for, bunking in, or multiple houses around a central feature for each profession, and each house is going to have multiple of the profession blocks, as well as multiple beds for the villagers. So that's pretty exciting too. It's so much work. And I'm going to continue by going ahead and just gutting this out, just tearing off that bandage. And then I believe it may be beneficial to divide the village up into different districts for the different types of professions. Words today. And there we go. All gone. Nice port for us to be able to use later. We'll get to that. Now, let's put in some, get this place divided. I think right here, probably, yeah, right around here might be a good place for the center. Like all of these villages have a well as the center, and I think we need a nice fountain situation here that fits with the new theme. So I'm going to get on that, spread out some paths, get our place divided out, and go from there. Hope the chickens are doing okay. I've been away from the farm for a while. So I started with smelting up some of these stone bricks and made a nice little fountain to be able to be our centerpiece. It's kind of hard to find an exact center in a very oddly shaped village, but that'll be it. This will be the spoke of all of the paths that are going to go out and about. And next, I need to lay down these paths. I'm going to divide the village up by the various job blocks. I think I said that previously. If not, now you know. And I guess I'm going to get started on that now. And there we are. We have some paths through the entire village. Kind of bringing it all together, dividing it out, and separating it into the various districts that we're going to have. Now, I have a couple more things that I'd like to do in here today. Particularly, I want to replace all this with the pale moss and do the biome blend. But I'm not going to be building the buildings today. This is taking a long time. A very long time. And I don't want to rush through doing the buildings. I want to take my time and do them right. Do these villagers right by their village. And as haste makes waste, I'm going to do it next time. Until then, let's get all this moss filled in. I have to go all the way back to the farm. And then I'm going to do a couple more things on the farm proper today before we wrap it all up. I always love this view too, and I'd like to share it with you. Just coming around the corner. Farm comes into view. It's nice, aesthetic. I like it. Got our pale moss, and if we come over here behind the building, I do have just a little itty bitty composter set up for some bone meal. And now back to the village. Oh, my bees are doing good. Now as we pull up on here, I did just realize I didn't touch on this. This is all cobblestone right now. I'm going to texture it later with regular stone just kind of mixed in, but I couldn't do that ahead of time because of this step right here. This will turn all of the stone into this. So, next step. Anyways, let's get going on this, what I'm certain will be another massive endeavor. And we got ourselves mossed up and textured up, and we're at a good starting place for next time when we build the village proper. Until then, I think it's time to head home for a little bit. I've done enough butchering on this town as it is. I'll be back, guys. I'm not going to leave you like this forever. Now it's time to do a little more housekeeping over here at home. See, we have our wheat farm over here, but currently we're just a monocrop farm, and that needs to change. I have this space over here. Let's get some, we'll say potatoes. Let's get some potatoes going. After I sort out a little bit of this inventory going on, because this is much. It's too much. Let's rectify. It is good to be home, though. Be able to curl up all nice and cozy in our own bed with our own view. And without a bunch of villagers yapping at me first thing in the morning. So that's a positive. Anyway, it's Tato time. Got a nice little potato patch. And on an upside... Whoa. Alrighty, didn't mean to do that, but on a nice little upside, I did learn that if I fall in the well, I can get back out again, so that's broadly positive. I did have one last thing I would like to do today to commemorate the breaking of ground on the village back there, and that is where the pale oaks here are on our farm now. I'd like to build a little custom pale oak tree going up, and yeah, we're gonna give that a go now. I tried to fix a small little mistake right here, and I have the falling tree mod. So when I tried to fix the tiny mistake with my axe, it counted this all as a tree. Well, that is less than ideal, but the show must go on. Blech. Well, there we go. Nice little custom tree. I'm not particularly good at custom trees, but I gave it a try, and, you know, I could tweak it. I could play with it. For now, I'm not touching it again, because if it pops like that again, I'm gonna cry. It'll be a bad time. In the meantime, it's been a pretty good day. We got a lot done. There's a hole in there. There we go. Anyways, we got the foundation for this village over here in a pretty good spot to be able to start building the village proper next time. I have lots of ideas for what I'm going to do for all of these. I miss some spots. Oh well. I have a lot of ideas for some of these villager houses that I'm very excited for. And I hope you guys are excited too, because it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a whole thing. Prepare yourselves. Until then, if you could like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. And have a good day.